Aladdin. I told them everything was all imagined, and that my mind was just a weapon that I meddled in to make magnets. Told them I would win, I would never stop. Told them I would make it, told them I would fucking climb up to the top. How I did it, climb mountains, wasn't afraid of the drop. Put my city on the map with a bucket and a mop. What you thought? That I would pack up and quit? My mama slapped me in the face and she ain't raised no.
What up, world? It's your boy, Pablo Rodriguez, the Hustlepreneur, and we're here for another episode of Self-Proclaim. And man, I got some heat for y'all today, okay? I got that fitness heat for y'all today, okay? I got my main man, Steven, Top Gun Barnet in the building of Fitness Fuel, okay? Man, what's good, bro? How you doing, man?
Hey, blessed by the best, man. How about yourself?
Man, blessed, man.
Come on.
Happy and honored to have you on the show, bro. Like,
come on,
ever since meeting you, linking up with you, hearing your story, like, I just knew we had to get this for the masses, man. Because, you know, Self-Proclaim is all about talking about going through the struggle, right, and getting to the success, but it's what it took to get through that struggle, you know, the mountains and everything that you had to climb and overcome. And bro, your story is just out of this world. Like, you were showing me pictures, and you guys at home will be able to see these pictures. They should be posted up in the back or on top of us, right, where you can see Steve's transition from what you see here now to what was before, you know? And it's like to get in your mind to make that type of personal physical change, like that's no small mountain. That's like, let's start with Mount Olympus out the gate. Right. You know what I mean? And bro, you've gone on to compete. You've built a formidable and an online business at that, but you've built a formidable training business that's now online. You've got your own app. I mean, dude, it's out of this world.
Working,
you know?
Man. Bless.
So, man, introduce yourself to the people real quick for us, man, and you know, tell them who you are, man.
Absolutely, with pleasure, man. First of all, man, appreciate you having me on the show. You know, we talked, we had a great conversation, man. I felt your authenticity, how real you are. So I'm happy to be here, brother. But Steven, Top Gun Barnet, man, Top Gun Fitness CEO, you know, Fitness Fuel CEO. Started out as Top Gun. So a little bit about me, man. I transform lives, especially mostly professional fathers who have been working, execs, business, and usually are busy people. Don't have a lot of time, but they have dedication. They know how to prioritize. And I come in and help them with that transformation. Just kind of started for me because I was a 400-pound guy.
400 pounds, bro?
400 pounds.
I mean, like, you showed me the pictures, and I was like, damn, homie, big as shit. But from 400 to now, what are you at now?
So since I started bodybuilding, now it's hanging around 250. My lightest got down to 200, and then I started bodybuilding, getting in that measure.
Man.
But yeah, man, it's been a journey for sure.
Bro, I mean, the pictures you showed me, like, going from 400 to ripped. I mean, homie, bro, the picture you showed me, what was it, day before yesterday, bro? Bro, you would cut up like a bag of dope on Delancey. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm talking about you had so
take it to the trap.
Cut, bro, cut. Trap would have been scared. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, the discipline it takes to get there. But, you know, let's rewind real quick, right? Before all that, before getting into that, like, let me ask you something. At 400 pounds, like, what was the moment that created the pivot for you? You know, because, you know, nothing happens for no reason, right? Right,
absolutely.
And behind every story like yours, there's a central focus, there's a motivation, there's a why. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So take us there, like, take us to who you were then, what you were going through, and enlighten us.
Absolutely, man. So, you know, I've been big, or was big, and out of shape pretty much my entire life, my entire childhood. You know, the nutrition part of it wasn't there. You know, it was more of, maybe go play sports, maybe not. So I kind of fell into the category of maybe I'm just supposed to be big, whatever happens, happens. But, you know, I had imposter syndrome. Looking in the mirror, I never felt that I was looking at me. I never felt that that guy was the guy that was inside my mind. So it was something that I always dealt with and always felt uncomfortable with. And I think that it all came to roost, or it all came together One day, my daughter, who's 16 now, she came up to me, stretched her arms out to give a hug. And she said, "Daddy, you're just too big." She couldn't get her arms around me. And, you know, if you have dad with a daughter, you know, especially at that age, you know, nobody's words can cut you like a knife or get straight through to that heart. So if that was the moment, man, where it was like, you know what, forget trying, forget complacency with this, it has to change. You know, there's no other option. And it's funny you said Mount Olympus, man, because I've always been a Mount Olympus type of guy. You know, extremists, hey, it works good and bad in some areas. But the point is, we're going to have that experience.
Yeah,
So
we're going to get it.
We're going to get it. So, you know, I've never been most people's rationale or a rational person. I'm more of, if I want it, I don't care what was standing in the way, what thinks it's impossible. I don't care. If I want it, it's mine. I'm going for it. I'm going to do it.
I love it, man, because, you know, bro, I feel like in truth, I don't think it's just in one field or one type of lifestyle per se. I just feel like if you're a go-getter and you want something, you go get it, you know, and having that mindset, I don't find nothing wrong with it. Like, some people are like, oh, you shouldn't feel like you could just do anything. Why not?
Why not?
We are all born the same. We're all born little balls of fat, right?
Right.
That have no natural skills. But when we come to learn and want and desire things, then we learn, you know, then we move on, then we grow, and then we go after what it is that we truly want. And I love the fact that people like us, we have that ability within us. Like, if I want something, I'm going to go get it. I'm willing to go bust my ass. I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to hit this goal or to get this done, because then I will feel accomplished. Then I will have what I want. And knowing what you truly want and being and willing to sacrifice and go after it, to me, that's the dopest thing in the world, man.
You know what's interesting, man, is I don't think that I knew exactly what I wanted, but it set the stage for it. It set the stage for the process of believing in myself. At that point, it wasn't the rationale of having the confidence in myself that I'm going to get it done. It was more of the, I don't give a fuck what it is, but it ain't going to be this. And I think that's important to say, man, because, you know, if you're hearing this and you're, you know, in that deep part where you don't feel like you can accomplish things, it's hard to listen to this or hard to see somebody and say, oh, yeah, I can do that, man. I just got to start working. No, I was at a point where I felt worthless. You know what I mean? And rock bottom. And at that point, you know, it wasn't the confidence of, I know I can. It was,
I got no other choice but to do it.
I know this ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to let this happen.
Yeah.
I'm very anti this, so I'm getting away from this. And I think through that process, it built the confidence in what it takes to get those things accomplished. And then you also see the power that you have in that. When you have that determination, then you can spread it out to other places of your life. You know, when you come look back in categories, man, I did that. I went from here, I went from there. I purposely did it. I set my mind to do it. There was a lot of things in the way, but I got it done. You know what? I can probably do that with this here. That same process. And I think once you digest that process, you can move a lot further. You can put that in a lot of places in your life. Like you said, no matter where it's coming from, fitness, business, relationships, school, all of these things, that process is in there. So once you realize there was a process in between, man, you can, hey, let me put that on this, let me put that on this, and work the same way through it. So like I said, I think that's important to say, man, because it definitely wasn't a confidence, or I had the self-esteem at the time. I didn't, you know, but it built me into the process of where now I know how to use that.
It's like being on rock bottom, bro. You know,
Yep.
When you hit rock bottom, it's all honest. In all honesty, bro, it's like a line of chalk is drawn in the sand, right? When you're at rock bottom, that line appears, right? And it's like, you can choose this side of things, which is to stay right where you're at on rock bottom and just suffer and bitch and moan about it, but not actually take any actionable steps to change shit. Or you go over to the other side of the sand and you decide to man the fuck up, take action, and be consistent. And granted, you're going to fall. A lot of people think, oh, well, once I make this decision in my life, it's just going to be easy peasy. No, that's a bunch of bullshit. It's that we're deciding not to quit. We're deciding not to go back. We're deciding to continue to move forward. We're deciding to fail forward, you know? Because, see, when I hit rock bottom, bro, for me, it was like I had that deciding moment. I had family. I had the wife looking at me. I even felt the kids were looking at me, you know? And it's like I had to decide either shit or get off the pot.
Come on.
You know?
Right.
And so for us, when we hit that moment, it's rough. It ain't nothing to laugh about. It fucking sucks in that moment.
Right.
But when we make that decision to go to that other side, when we make that decision to take that first step in the direction of what we're going to accomplish, of the goal, it's over.
It's over.
Like in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, whenever I'm in those moments, when I make that deciding factor, when I make that decision and I march forward, it's over. Could give a fuck about competition, jealousy, envy. I don't give a fuck about none of it. All I know is the end of the goal. I know the end of the tunnel. I have to get there. And I will get there come hell or high water.
Come on.
And like I see that obviously happen with you. You know what I mean?
Sir.
So when your daughter, like with that moment with your daughter, man, that's a pivotal fucking moment. That's a like for me, I ain't gonna lie, my daughter's hit me a couple times. She said, hey daddy, hey, you look kind of thicky there.
Right, right. And it hits
like,
a little different.
And we're like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I said,
it hits a little different.
And it's funny because like my cousin Jamel, right? I was up in New York a couple months ago, and we were on the subway, and you know he's working, going through life and everything, right? And it was crazy because he's like our size, you know what I mean? And he's battled with fitness. He's always, you know, the last 20 years kept himself in good shape. But you know, you have your moments, you slack off, you know, you get a little heavy for the winter, you know. But we were on the subway, and the lady started. He got into it with a lady because she was drunk, and he just told her, hey, sit your ass down. And she started ragging on him. and the shit was, she was ragging on him, right? I mean, she was roasting him. Like, I had to turn my head and laugh. I was like, damn, cuz she got you. But it was crazy because after we got out that subway, right, first thing he told me was, did you record that? Because, you know, I'm known for recording stuff. And I was like, nah, you good, cuz. He was like, okay. He says, I am going to the gym tomorrow morning. She really made me feel some type of way about my shirt. I was like, well, hey, cuz, you got to get it. He's like, you know what? That's all the motivation I needed. So it's like you have those little pivotal moments that serve to inspire you.
Right.
Now, what was the journey like when you began it? Because I know it wasn't easy.
So, you know, I think that first out of the gate, it's kind of easy, fairly easy. You're emotionally charged, right? And it's like you shooting out the gate. I got that first sprint one, adrenaline pumping, I'm gone. Then when I figured out this is going to take consistency, this is going to take diet changing, this is going to take some hungry times, some sore times, I started to get wave a little bit, you know, and just telling my full side, man, I had an accountability partner, didn't even know it. Rest in peace, Norman Cooper, man. First person that we actually got hired at a job at the same time. We lived in the same area. And she said, hey, man, you think we can carpool to work, save some gas and stuff? I said, yeah, but I'm going to the gym every morning. You can meet me there. Oh, I need to get back to working out too. So then I had somebody accountable. We're meeting at the gym for work every day. So I got to go to the gym. I got to get those workouts in. And then I think that part of the struggle and what I really got addicted to before seeing those pounds come off was the frustration release. You know, I was married. There was frustration there at the time. Dealing with a lot of things, you know, not loving on myself, obviously. Being in a dark place. And I've always had a history at that time of self-destruction. When I'm mad or when I'm in, I take it out on myself, my tantrum. So this became the first place. And that, of course, the next step was education. I got tired of starving myself with a protein bar and a salad. You know, so moving through that, okay, now I'm educating myself on the proper ways to eat healthy. And all this time, man, I felt like I had so much fuel in the process that those blinders were on, you know. Like I said, I can get irrational when I'm about that goal and I lock in and my blinders on, nothing else matter. So at that point, man, everything was about that. Everything. What do I need to do, you know, to get to that goal? And my goal at that time, I would form it and update it. I would close my eyes and see myself in what I would call my family picture. You know, financially, sitting outside of the house, the vehicles, the type of vehicles, zoom in, you see smiles on everybody's faces, and I'm in the best shape of my life. That was my saving picture that I looked at in my head every time I got tired, every time I got mad and frustrated, every time I was on the treadmill and I felt like I was about to kill over. Every time my heart was jumping out of my chest and I just couldn't breathe, I focus on that picture. And are we there yet? We're not. So why are we stopping? And I think that none of that at that point was my own self-esteem, at least consciously. It was more of that dragging myself, and I do believe that that's a part, man. You have to know how to make yourself obey yourself. You know,
the mind controls the body, not the body the mind.
Right. You have to know that sometimes you'll have to decipher through your own thoughts and say, no, I'm going to get up and do this. So that was the battle for me at that point, was winning over the power of my own mind and saying, you're going to do this and stick to it. You know, and through that journey, man, it showed me so much in life that it's been a vehicle for me to put that into other people's lives. And the result is that transformed body and mindset, which is most important to me. You know, my clients, we don't really do too many short-term things. It's long-term because we're building that mindset. By the time we through, you're going to damn near be a fitness coach. You're going to know how to eat healthy. You're going to know how to stop people who approach you and rag on you or try to say, you eating that healthy thing at work? You're going to know how to pivot when you're on the go and go ahead and get something healthy. You're going to know what form, workouts that benefit you, things that help you, things to cut out, how to get back on track. And it's that mindset throughout that thing that makes those valuable for people. Because if I don't have that, otherwise it breezes by. And all of a sudden I'm right back down to zero. And I thought I had it, but I never did the work to get those extra steps. I never really put that in. I kind of copped out, as we used to say, right?
We all go through that, man. Like,
right.
You know, and it's crazy because it's dope to hear you talk about the steps you took to get your mindset in the right place. Because for those who don't take those steps, it's so easy to succumb to those weak little things that call out to you. You know, oh, you can cheat today because you know we're gonna work it out tomorrow. Or hey, you know what? It's all right. You didn't eat as much earlier, so you know this fried chicken sandwich ain't gonna hurt you.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But it's having the discipline within yourself to say, no, this ain't part of what we're supposed to do. I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna suck it up, and at the end of the day, the goal is more important than the feeling I'm feeling right here, right now. This right here is temporary. What I'm building is permanent. You know, what I'm building is is something to be long lasting.
Come on.
You know, so going through that as you did, right? What was it like with the family? Was there good support there? You know, because you know, it seems to me like this has been the reoccurring thing that I hear from all levels and all fields, right? Is that when you're pursuing something, man, it's like 1 minute they're with you, 1 minute they're against you, 1 minute they're the vice, the next minute they're part of the mountain, you know? Right. So how was support and with family and friends like for you, you know? Because you seem like you was going super hard in the paint, and you know, I can imagine those who might have been around you were probably definitely supportive, but it was like, you know, people get used to one version of you, you know? Like, I'm used to the guy that likes to hang out, drink beers, and smoke blunts or whatever. Right. I'm not used to this healthy guy. You know, this healthy guy, you know, it's cool. I'm happy for you, but, you know, are you getting too healthy for me? You know what I mean? Did you experience stuff like that?
So Man, great question. And like you said, you know, I think it's important, like you said, everybody on their path goes through that. And that's okay, because your path is your path. We want everybody with us. We want this encompassing feel. But how do you know it's you if you do that? You have a specific purpose. You got to go through some isolation. So that being said, you know, just picture this. I was exactly what you said, you know, blunt smoking, drinking every day, you know, club 5 nights a week. I was a rapper locally back then, and local enough that we were in there every week getting free drinks, so drunk every night and hitting the drive-through right after. And, you know, with a crowd of guys that went with, and we're totally fine with that lifestyle. And, you know, in a marriage where certain aspects of that were okay, not maybe everything, but at least not having the health aspects there was okay. And so going against the grain like that, you know, I had a lot of pain that I was working through, and I was okay at that point turning that pain into the focusing on the work and letting the things fall off that weren't going to come with me. Because at that point, I felt like I needed to do that for myself. And I felt like it was the healthiest thing to do. So I was, you know, the leader of a group, and that, you know, had its effects, because now they're looking at, what do you mean you want us to come work out with you? You want us to, oh, that's cool, that's good for you, okay, all right. All the time, you know, you get ridiculed, you get, you know, you're getting skinny, that's not what we want, you know, within the household, you know, I'm not cooking healthy food, you're on your own there. You know, we didn't say we want that, you know, that's what you want. My number one supporter, though, was my daughter. The same one that came up and said that to me, man, was every step of the way. Dad, you're looking good. Dad, are you going to the gym? Dad, you've been doing this. And then when I first started coaching, the first one that wanted to come up and be in my classes with me, my little workout partner, who shout out to baby girl's the #1 wrestler in the state right now. You know?
Okay.
So she picked that up, you know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. Congrats.
And, you know, man, so that's been, you know, special, man, seeing that. But definitely there's that point. I think I'm a special person in the fact that I thrive in solitude. So
I have felt like that as well, bro.
You know, hey, you know, call it what you want, man,
Yeah.
but you leave me alone and I'm going to take off faster. That's just, you know, for me. So it was less distractions. It was more tunnel visions. It was like, okay, fine. You know. And
So as the naysayers started to fall off from around you, they're thinking they're falling off from around you and doing you a disservice, and instead they doing exactly what you needed them to do.
Right.
Get out my motherfucking way so I can get on course and hit my goal.
Right.
That's dope, man. You know,
Right.
Some people take that isolation that comes from that. When people start falling off from around them, they take that almost like that disassociation from them, and they process it emotionally.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, this journey ain't their journey to begin with. It's your journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And your journey is meant for you to go through by yourself.
Right.
Yeah, we'd all love to have the cheerleaders and the support on the sideline, you know, lifting us up when we're down, you know, when it's fourth down and we got inches to go. We'd love to have somebody cheering for us, but a lot of time it's digging within ourselves, finding that fire, finding that strength, and persevering, you know?
Absolutely.
I think this is this is just my personal opinion, right? But I think people need to realize success is going to come with some isolation. Success is going to come with some time alone. Right. You know, no matter what type of success it is, you're going to end up at some point in time where it's just you. Whether it's at the beginning, in the middle, or towards the end, it's going to come down to where it's just you. And you deciding, are we going to keep going? We're going to go do what they want to do, or we're going to do what we want to do.
Right.
You know? That's
Right.
dope, man.
No, that's major, man, because, you know, it's a crossroad that you see a lot of people stop at, or they don't feel like they have any power to go beyond. You know, if this group of people don't want that for me, then that must not be good for me. Mm-hmm. So I guess I just can't, because that, you know, and I think that at certain points I probably did process it emotionally, but overall, I got the understanding, like you said, you know, I learned a lot, in my opinion, about life through this fitness journey. And I got to understand, like you said, you know, just because that journey is on your own doesn't mean that that person was doing you a disservice or wrong. Just because they didn't understand exactly where you were going, most likely you were upset because you didn't also know exactly where you were going. So any kind of bother in that, it kind of takes you off your pace, so you have to rethink, and that irritates you. So you feel like somebody asking you questions when you don't have the defined answers, it kind of irritates you. And you feel like you don't, there's that friction there, and you go off this way and they go out that way, that they just went, well, not necessarily. There's people that love you that are still be in that corner that just don't understand, and that's fine, because like you said, that journey is for you. And if they are truly that, when you get there on the other end, they'll be there with still love. You know, man, I didn't see that thing, but hey, I didn't understand what you was doing, but I'm glad you did it. Man, that's nice for you. That's cool. You know, even to a point where some of those people come back around, hey, can you help me do this? And at that point, you have to grow, because that old you want to say, oh, no, you wasn't with me back then.
Right.
But then when you realize that part of the blessing that you got and who you are and what you've come through is so that you can put that out, so that you can spread that. So if these people have literally seen that fight right in front of them, and then they look to you and say, hey, man, I didn't understand it when you was going through it, but this is amazing. Do you think you can tap in? You're the most qualified person probably to help them. They've seen you. They believe in you and what you're doing. So, you know, learning that process, man, and like I said, this is why a lot of this has come back to putting my efforts back into the world, back into training, because it's so much of that mindset that you can give out and make little other fires that they can give to other people and nuggets and pass that on, man. And it's a whole lot better than saying, fuck everybody, I'm fit, I don't care, nah, y'all this, forget what I was. Why? That's not love. That ain't happiness. You know what I mean? So going through those things, man, I think there's also that turning point where you have to understand in your own maturity that you went on something to do by yourself, but that's the way life's supposed to be. It doesn't mean that now you're on an island and you don't need to contact anybody. No, it means now you're more formidable to come back over here and be effective. You know what I mean? So, or at least that's the way I see that, man. So, you know, part of that process dropping off, some of those happened emotionally. Some of them was the right time and they never came back around, and that's fine. But I've also got to transform some other lives of people close to me because of what I've been through. And maybe they weren't there the whole time, but that's fine, you know. Long as you didn't turn around and say, fuck you, okay, we can make something happen. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know, hey,
Yeah.
you said, you threw me the finger and said, forget it. That, hey, man, same to you. God bless.
Check out the dudes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that's part of it too, man, because I don't like this society of selfism and everybody solo, one, just me, and all these things, man. It's like one phrase that changed my life, brother, is selfish is not putting yourself first. Selfish is expecting everybody else to put you first. And that's a lot of time what we do, man. When you're sitting and you're waiting for everybody else to tell you your plan is good, when you're waiting for everybody else to confirm your move and say that's what you should do, that's what you're doing. You know, you have to step out and say, man, I may not got it all right, but something, I got to do this. I'm doing this. Them supporting you is not their job. You know what I mean? So understanding those kind of things, man, will put you in a position to where you can actually learn and you actually develop as a person. Because no matter what, you go on that journey and you stay closed off there, you don't get all that growth. You don't get the next step of that to go. You know, I'm sure part of what has come with your success is a lot of people looking at you like, big dog, don't forget about, hey, we grew up the borough, man, hey, baby, we did that time. You know, and I'm sure you've had a lot of them where you've had to grow as a person and set boundaries. And then some where you had to say, you know what, hey, man, I can show you this. And obviously you do, because you sit, you know what I mean? You say, hey, maybe not everybody I'm turning out and shelling out, but what I will do is show you what made this. help give you a path to do that, man.
I'll show you how to fish.
Come on.
I'll show you how to fish.
Come on. And like you said, hey, man, I'm gonna show you. I might give you a little taste. Hey, you like that fishing, and show you how to fish. But fam, don't think that I'm going to stay over at the watering hole with you and
I ain't
take
gonna
the
hold
fish
your
out
rod
for you,
you.
cut it, and hold your rod, and take the time, and
Yeah.
let you take a break while I hold your rod. No.
Ain't happening.
So
Get in and work with me.
right. So there ends up being, a lot of confused feelings or hard feelings from other stuff like that, man. And that also, in my opinion, helps you or teaches you to not put so constraints on those people that are seasons in your life, and be able to gravitate and open up and network with like minds and certain levels that you on. Like you said, this is my journey. If I went up this way and you went out that way, well, there might be some more people up around this way that are just as good and just as networking and giving back and stuff that we can grow through. So, I mean,
So, bro, that's awesome right there, man. Having that mindset and being able to look ahead and analyze things in your life as they're transpiring like that. It's a whole growth process, but
Right.
keeping that mentality is definitely obviously helped you keep a foot up above everybody else as you're going along, never giving up on yourself and reflecting on self and utilizing self to push forward,
Come on.
So as you went through the journey, you got the weight loss down, started getting fit. What got you into competing?
Man, great question, man. So it was something that this is me starting out, man, 400 pounds. I had no idea what was under there. I had no idea that there was any athleticism. Nobody in my family very close that I knew had that type of physique or anything. Literally what happened is I lost the weight, and I wasn't happy with the softness, the baggy skin, and all of that stuff, man. I didn't have my diet right at the time. I was just super calorie deficit, losing weight. So I thought, okay, the best way for me to fill out this frame is going to be to put some more muscle on it. And that's what started it.
Really?
That's all.
Bro, let me tell you.
You know what I mean?
The picture you showed me, like you on stage, you was flexing. I think they had just put the medals around your neck. Bro, look, y'all put that picture up. Y'all look at this picture. Bro, look so happy. So yeah, like, bro, the smile on your face, like it looked like legit. You were like I'm looking at it, I was like, man, I don't know if Cuz got first place or not, but it looked like he felt like he did. You know what I mean? Because you had achieved the goal that was obviously one of the ones that was like a light at the end of the tunnel. So for you, like, what was it like in that moment, man, when you were up there on stage and you had done that? Like, how did that feel?
So, there was a lot of build up there, obviously. And, I guess I got to go back, man. I got into bodybuilding because I wanted to get the muscle up, right? But also for me, I didn't want to, I knew that I was putting so much time and so much with the blinders on into my health and more than that, my aesthetics, that I wanted to be able to give myself a place to say, okay, look, let's slow down. Let's go to maintenance, and let's not make this the whole thing. There's more to this puzzle. So competing, man, was going to be, definitely this is an infinite game. So it's not the end of the journey, but the end of a chapter. It was, you started out like a 400-pound looking like Mr. Kool-Aid and looking like you ain't never been in the gym a day in your life. And here you are on stage, first place in your category in a regular, bodybuilding competition. There's no handicap for it. There's no because you got up there with the rest. And, I think it's funny you say that, you had that smile. Man, I walked in with that smile. I won when I showed up, you know what I mean? And I knew that, you know what I mean? And it was nothing to do with any medal around my neck. It was my journey, So the funny thing is there was a lot of, there was a few first timers out there too. And nobody knew it was my first time. Everybody was like, oh yeah, man, you that guys going out there and they look, deer in headlights and stuff, and I'm going out there cheesing, having the greatest time. You know what I mean? Having the greatest time. I planned it just right. So it was I was on my birthday. I told myself for my birthday, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life, and I did it. So that was my win. I made it here to compete. I'm in the best shape of my life on my birthday. Boy, you've been through some shit, you know? So the smiles and the cheesing, I gave myself that. I said, boy, you're going to celebrate this. You're going to revel in this moment. There's a lot of build up here. So doing that, man, was so that was definitely genuine happiness on my face, man. And doing that, you know, definitely wasn't an end of my health or anything like that. But it allowed me to say, okay, you can pivot, you can rest, you did this, you know what you're doing. You're at a level where you can do some other things, okay, where you can incorporate other things. So it was a pat on the back, but not a you're done. You know what I mean? So it was important to be able to make that pivot for me, and I just set that up specifically for that.
That's dope. And so from there, how long did you compete for?
So bodybuilding world, man, I got ready for a couple of shows, but that was the only show that I did. You know, fast forward, just wanting to put on size and wait another year to do a show. That was in November, and the next November, which was 22 that just passed, I had a heart attack. So
wow, you had a heart attack, bro?
Right. So that was, you know, insane for itself, you know, to come all that way. But I had a lot of damage done being 400 pounds of most of my life. Now that coupled with I ended up having pneumonia, and I was deathly ill and didn't know it. I was walking around. I just thought I was tired and sluggish. And the mucus that builds up in your lungs takes your heart into arrhyth. Heart was in rhythm for almost a couple of days before I had a heart attack.
Wow.
So that, you know, blessing in itself, pivoted, helping my business and stuff. And you know, a real thing since then, man, is, you know, they say you live two lives, right? You know, and the second one starts the day that you realize you only have one. And, you know, even though I had been through quite a few experiences, you know, quite a few to the edges and hell and back again, as you used to say, a different light kicked on right then. You know.
Like it realigned your priorities, huh?
Right. Oof, right. Great way to say it, man. It realigned that, you know, and I couldn't have been more thankful for. I couldn't be more thankful for it at this point, because where I am, you know, 8 months later is a different place from where I was when I had that heart attack, just in my priorities and where I was taking it. So, so it was one of those things where it was, you know, it was crazy that it happened. You know, I was in great shape when it happened, besides actually having pneumonia. So it was crazy. You know, I'm walking around abbed out in the hospital, and they're like,
You say you got what?
Right, yeah,
a six-pack of abs? No,
You
I
know?
said I got pneumonia.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So, you know, like you said, you know us men, man. And hey, sidebar, men 35 and over, go get yourself checked out. Stop trying to tell everybody you're hard, man. Just stop trying to feel like you need to put up with it. Go get yourself checked out. Got to put that in, because that was one of the biggest things for me, man, is just shrugging it off. Oh, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm just tired. I'm just, nah, I should have been. I was almost 3 weeks deep in pneumonia by the time I went. So,
wow.
you know, so, right.
Damn. Well, you were a fucking tank.
Yeah,
you were just
man.
a Sherman tank, just going through the battlefield.
Well, the silver lining, man, I have to say that as well, man. My cardiologist, like I said, he was like, hey, if you hadn't been in the shape you were, you'd have been dead. There's no, you know, there's no ifs, ands, buts about that. So, you know.
So leading out of the heart attack, right? And now that made you reprioritize and kind of evaluate what your goals were, what you felt was important, what needed to get done. Right. So now after having kind of like that epiphany, right? And like, this life is done, my real true life now begins, because I recognize I only got one life to live. Right. I'm going to do the best I can with this one. Where did that lead you to now? So
a couple of things that I would say the most benefits coming out of there. Number one and foremost being closer with my kids, you know, who have always been in the center of this. But I was more of, you know, when you see a lot of dads do it, you know, we'll get to it, you know, I'm working for you guys, you know, when I value more the time spent with them now. More than, hey, I got to work, I got to put in these hours, but here's the money. You guys got, boom, you're good. You know, come over on the weekend, boom, nope. You know, you never know, you know, how long you got, what kind of time you got. So it's more of being right there for them, you know. And I mean, it helped me realign my business, because my whole thing was working out so much and training that was my business. So being able to put myself in a position where a lot of my business runs itself, I have that time as well. Mm-hmm. And those were things that I wouldn't have done or wouldn't have put in check. Mm-hmm. You know, they were on the to-do list. So organizing those two things, man, organizing my business, to set up to be a better business and more of just a practitioner. And now here we are getting ready to bring on 2 coaches and another employee. And
that's, you know, dope, man.
That
Congrats.
definitely wasn't at that spot last year.
Congrats, man.
So
growth is beautiful,
growth, man. And it came from sitting my butt down, and it came from reprioritizing and putting the things that I was externally reaching for a little bit further off, and putting those internal things right here, family, love, and purpose, a lot closer and a lot tighter. And the funny thing is, doing that reprioritize, you know, got my life in a lot better shape.
Yes, bro. It's funny, like the way you put that, right? I have one of my mentors. His name is Preston Brown, right? And then I have another one named Jake Fruget, right? And Preston has this saying. I don't know who he got it from or if it's his own creation, right? But it's the 4 F's, right? Faith, family, fitness, finance, in that order. And he had told me and Quentin about this a while back, you know, back when Quentin first began his journey. You know, Quentin's about the only dude I've really known, like, personally, like, I've seen his journey, you know what I mean? Right. He was like 450 at one time. Now he's at like 250, 260, right? And made monumental steps, but it was like, same thing with you. Like, for him, it was just like one day during COVID, he just said, enough's enough, you know? Right. And he just started going, and he hasn't stopped since. And along the way, he met Preston and then introduced me to Preston, but Preston kind of, you know, we're those like high velocity guys. We're always running full speed ahead, you know? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you focus on one thing, and in you focusing on that one thing, because that's the central part of your vision right then and there at that time. Right. Other things around you fall off, you know?
Man, right.
Faith falls off. Interaction with the man above runs off, you know, falls off. Family falls off, you know? We're so focused that we're working. Right. The goal isn't really a work goal. It's a personal goal, but it's become like work. And so therefore it interferes with family. You know what I mean? And then the finance, you know, sometimes we get so laser focused on what we do, we're letting finances fall apart in other places. So it's like everything has to coincide together, and finding that balance. Like, once you find that balance, you're unstoppable. Right. You know? And literally I had to learn it from Q and Preston and Jake, like finding that balance. Because when you find that balance, man, you truly find just how limitless you truly are. Because it's balancing those 4 things that gives you the ability to just go full throttle.
Man, you know, I love the way that you put that. I haven't put it that way myself, man, but pretty much the same exact thing, man. I think that scaling back and defining my purpose. You got one life to live. What are you here for, Steven? What are you here for? Is it just to make money? Is it what are you here for? And I think that I always had a problem, man, tapping in for money. I came up in that, you know, get money, everything, get money, and it never resonated with me. And I felt ashamed because of that. I felt like, man, I should want money like everybody else. Money. Why am I not? I'm trying. When I'm emotional about it, I do crazy stuff to get money. Why am I not motivated by money? Well, the crazy thing is, man, bringing it back, sitting myself down, taking that time and thinking about purpose and thinking about what do I want to leave behind, legacy, and what all this is about. Why are you here? What are you doing? Why do you like talking and helping people all the time? What are you really doing? And killing myself over that, just breaking my brain, taking the time. What are you doing? And understanding what my purpose was. Once I did that, it's like, okay, all right, I like that. And I do that all the time. Now, how do I fit this in a setting with those other things? I hadn't named them out that, but that's exactly what I was thinking. How do I fit this for family, my fitness, and finance? For it. You know what I mean? How do I fit this in?
Yeah.
And it's like, duh, through the training you're already doing. You're already doing this. You're already making this positive impact on these people. You haven't really labeled it, but you've already been coaching mindset this whole time. That's what you do. So sitting back and saying, now you have great purpose through what you're doing. Nobody need to tell me nothing else. I don't need any other motivation. And I'm inspired. I'm disciplined behind that because now I feel like I have a mission, a real mission to be effective with people, and it aligns. And I know that mission ain't gonna separate me from my family. God, that's not it. So if it's doing that, it ain't right. I know that that's not going to be bad things for me. I know that. So as long as I keep my head into what I do and into the reason that I'm doing this and lead that as the measure, not to a crazy point of, I think at one time I used to, give away the whole house because I wanted to give it away, but to a standpoint of remembering all those things. Well, you can't do that because you want to protect your family. So you got to make sure there's something on this table for them first. First thing you got to do, my dad used to always say, is pay yourself. It took me forever to understand what that really meant. Well, if I'm not taking care of what's putting in the first time, it ain't nothing going to double up and happen again. So really valuing and coming back and doing that, it's funny, it almost aligns those things for you right there. Because now it's like, man, I've got purpose through what I want to do, so I'm going to push like crazy. And what's crazy is that has motivated me so much more than money. And now, not bragging, but from the blessings, I'm making a lot more money than I ever have.
So it's like, it's dope because, it constantly amazes me, bro, when people say, man, I took my focus off chasing the money and just focused on what I was doing, focused on serving people, focused on bringing out the best version of them and bringing out the best version of myself. And next thing you know, I find myself making a whole lot of fucking money.
Exactly.
I find myself being comfortable. I find myself being able to see what I was manifesting all those years ago. I just didn't know it was going to come about this way.
Man.
That's incredible, man.
Man.
So you got some big things popping right now, man. You got a lot cooking in the pot.
Working.
We've led it all the way up to the present day. What's really good right now with Fitness Fuel, man?
Man, so it's been an amazing journey to where we're at right now. We've cultivated a little culture between our people, man. So of what we do, and we're bringing that out to the community. So not only do we do mindset coaching and do stuff together, but we do events outside so that we can actually do some outreach on that mindset and on that fitness. So we've got clothes and apparel that are sayings that's, more appealing to that boss lifestyle. You know what I mean? Our favorite phrase that you hear around with Fitness Fuel, if you've been coached by Top Gun Mav, you heard before, the reward for hard work is more hard work. And any boss, any entrepreneur knows that's the absolute truth. And it's a gift. It really is a reward. So that's the attitude that we have. The top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So these are cultivating the attitude that we have, man, and we're actually putting those together in clothes as well. We're at Davies Boxing and Fitness right now, man. We're getting the men's division of that set up for our men's clinic. So not only can you get that addressed with your TRT and those supplements, but we can address all of that right there, your blood panels, readings and stuff, so that men have that outlet where they can feel comfortable in being vulnerable and being able to build themselves up, man. So that's been amazing. Like I said, bringing on 2 coaches to expand and bring on and help more people. And then increase our online presence. So just getting that business up, man, and to a point where we're just authentically helping more and more people has been amazing.
That's awesome, bro. And so for people who want to connect with you, bro, drop your socials, drop all your info, man.
Come on, absolutely.
Man, look, I know this story. I know this episode has definitely touched some people. I mean, low key reminds me, one of the first episodes I recorded, bro, was with my guy Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modify, right? Mm-hmm. Bro was 600 plus. And now he's at like 250, 260 as well.
I remember that.
And bro, what's dope is like seeing your pictures, hearing your story, right? You guys are like right, you know, you're in the same circumference. You know what I mean? You guys are in the same area of each other. He's just at the beginning of his, and you're rocking and rolling. You know what I mean? Bro, I might have to connect y'all.
Come on,
because he's actually got a competition coming up in like another month or so, right? I think damn, he ain't back there, but I think normally they're back there. But I think Anthony's got another. He's got his first major competition coming up, bro. And then he's gonna and he's been filling out, but bro, he was huge.
Right.
And so after he wins the competition, and I'm speaking it into existence for him, after he wins the competition, I know he's going to be going to the next level immediately, bro, because he's serious about it. I'd love to connect y'all, man. I
love it.
I'm about to jump on a FaceTime with him tonight, man, and see if I can plug you guys up. But,
let's do it, man.
But bro, drop the app, drop the socials so they can see who you are, see what you're doing, connect with you. Let's get that. Let's make that shake, bro.
Absolutely, man. So if you're looking to connect with Fitness Fuel, go ahead to the website, fitnessfueltexas.com, or you guys can hit us up on Instagram, of course, Top Gun Fit Mav. That's the pretty much slash on everything. So that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's Top Gun Fit Mav, M-A-V at the end. And shoot me a follow, shoot me a DM. I love to connect with you guys. Like I said, we're serving San Antonio, Texas for our locally based in-person group coaching, but we also service all over the world, man, if you're online and if you're looking to get in that right mindset to have the transformation. That's the biggest thing, man. If you need somebody to help keep you accountable and you don't have that right mind frame for some changes that you know need to happen, then go ahead and hit us up, man. We definitely love to connect, brother.
That's awesome, man. Guys, look, that's going to be it for today on Self-Proclaim, man. But you guys already know what it is, right? I don't charge nothing for this show. I don't run no ads. I don't do none of that other bullshit. If you got some value from this, and I know my man Top Gun brought some insane value today for people out there listening and watching, give us a like, give us a share. Go add him on your socials, man. And listen, love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace. Top Gun, tapping out.
I told them everything was all imagined, and that my mind was just a weapon that I meddled in to make magnets. Told them I would win, I would never stop. Told them I would make it, told them I would fucking climb up to the top. How I did it, climb mountains, wasn't afraid of the drop. Put my city on the map with a bucket and a mop. What you thought? That I would pack up and quit? My mama slapped me in